All right, Shalom, it's your brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. And with that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakagadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work in true sincerity. This is Mark 10 and outside of verse 35. It says, and James and John, the sons of Zebedee, so they were the apostles of Yahweh Shai, man, one of the 12 apostles, come unto him saying, and then him's talking about Yahweh Shai, Master, be what that thou shouldest do for us, whatsoever we shall desire. And he said unto them, this is Yahushua speaking, what would ye that I should do for you? They said unto him, grant unto us that we may sit, one on the right hand, the other on the left hand, in thy glory. So they wanted to be, they wanted to be that, they wanted that status, man. They wanted that status for themselves. But Yahweh said unto them, ye know not what ye ask. Basically, he was saying that's not a proper question. Can you drink of the, because you don't know what you're talking about, basically what it's trying to say. Says, you know what you ask, can ye drink of the cup that I drink of? Be baptized with the baptism that I baptize with? They said unto him, we can. And Yahweh said to them, ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, with the baptism that I baptize with, shall ye be baptized. But to sit on my right hand and my left hand is not mine to give, but shall be given to them for whom it is prepared. So that was out of Yahweh Shai's influence. That was out of his command. That was given to that decision was already predestined by the Heavenly Father. It says, and when the 10 heard it, they began to be much displeased with James and John. Yeah, so they looked at him like why you who do you think you are? You know, because like they're basically looking. These brothers think they're something, but Yahushua called to them and says unto them, you know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles, let's get the word accounted, considered rulers over the Gentiles, exercise Lord over it, lordship over them, the great ones exercise authority upon them. But so shall it not be among you, but whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister. That word minister means servant. So this truth is about self-service to your brothers, and well, first and foremost to the Lord. This truth is about service, man. This truth is about being a servant. And we're in Great Millstone, we have that spirit of servants of Yahweh Shai. That's why we put in the work that we do. That we make the amount of videos that we do. That's why we don't do anything for no status, man. We don't wear gaudy garments. We don't wear flashy garments. We don't walk around with cufflinks and arm braces and so on and so forth, man. We go prophesying sackcloth, man. We don't have no gaudy production. No over the top production. No, we ain't doing it like that, man. We come in a very humble spirit because that's the spirit of Yahweh Shai. And if you're a man that's seeking truth, it's seeking status, this truth, then you're contrary to the example of Yahweh Shai, man. Because the scripture said you're supposed to be seeking service, to be a servant. It says that whosoever you will be the chiefest shall be the servant of all. For even the Son of Man cannot be ministered, he cannot to have to be served, but to minister, but to serve, to be a servant, to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many. So that's the spirit of Yahweh Shai. That was the example that he gave to the flock. We're starting to get Matthew 18 and 4. This is Matthew 18 and 4. And it says, whosoever therefore, once again the words of Yahweh Shai, the words in red, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as his little child, shall Salaki, I'll start verse 3. Verily I say unto you, except you be converted, you gotta be converted, you gotta be changed. To turn around, to turn oneself on one's course, to change one's mind. So you gotta have a whole different mentality. You gotta convert your way of thinking first and foremost. And become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. So you gotta humble down. You have to be in that humble mentality in order to grow, in order to grow in this truth. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as his little child, the same shall be great. The same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So that's what it is, man. So you gotta have a childlike humility about you. So in a childlike humility, a childlike humility is a mentality is It's an ever learning mentality because we don't know nothing, man. We're still all babes in this truth. The only ones that you can really call mature in this truth are the elders and apostles. They got years upon years of diligence in season, out of season. They're the only ones that can really be in any looked at any type of status. And they're not even seeking status themselves. They just doing the humble work as they were told to do. Now the Lord has made them great among men because of the truth that they were given. But they themselves don't look at themselves as any type of status or celebrity. And you hear the listen to Apostles' video, they plainly say that they don't want none of that. They shun from it. Yahweh Shai shunned from glory, man. When he ran away from when they were trying to glorify him because he knew that his glory was not going to come in this world. It was going to come in the next, where he's going to receive all glory, where he's going to be the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So the humble spirit is a great tool for you to use to develop in this truth. Instead, I'm going to get Mark 9 and 34, I think it is. A few scriptures, real quick lesson. Mark 9 and 34. And it says, and once again, it's the account of the apostles disputing among themselves that who's going to be the greatest. And he sat down and called the 12 and said that if any man desire to be first, the same shall be last of all and servant of all. And that's what it is, and it goes into the same account that we just read. So that just reinforces of what we just read, man. If any man desire to be first, the same shall be last of all and servant of all. If you desire to be first in the eyes of Yahweh Shai, you gotta be the last. You gotta be the servant. You gotta be self-sacrificing. That's how Jake is. Jake in the world's like that. Jake is he always want to outdo. Jake always want to outdo each other. That's in the world, man. And you can't bring that spirit of trying to outdo each other in this truth. Jake in the world always gotta have the best car, the best clothes, the best so and so, man, stereo system, whatever. That's the mentality that's contrary to the truth. But I'm gonna get a few more scriptures. And this is Paul, displaying that example of service, of being a servant, of humility. I'll start at verse 18. It says, 1 Corinthians 9:18. It says, what is my reward then? Verily, that when I preach the gospel, I may make, let's get that word make, I may present the gospel of Yahweh Shai without charge, that I abuse not my power. So even though Paul was given power and authority, in the body, he didn't abuse his power and authority. He said, for though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. So he followed the example of Yahweh Shai. He made himself a servant of all. He didn't abuse his position or authority or power that he had within the body. So that's an example, man. That's an example that we had to follow. And that's the example that Yahweh Shai gave us, man. Let me get 2 Corinthians 4 and 5. That's 2 Corinthians 4 and 5. It says, for we preach not ourselves, but Yahweh Shai, Mishak Yahweh Shai the Lord, and ourselves your servants for Yahweh Shai's sake. For we preach not ourselves, man. Because at the end of the day, this truth, it belongs to Yahweh Shai. It's not any particular man's truth. The Lord dictates what goes on in this truth, how it goes down, when it goes down, where it goes down, who's called in it, who holds certain positions, who does certain things. The Lord dictates all that, because this is not our truth. This truth doesn't belong to us. It was we were called to it. We were called to its service. We were called to be laborers. And then that's what we are. We ain't nothing but that. And you always got to have the mentality that we are nothing but laborers, man. We are nothing but servants. We're nothing. We're nothing, man. So the example is this: we preach not ourselves, because at the end of the day, it's not about us, man. It's not about any particular man. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about preaching His word and doing the service and fulfilling the offices that we were called to fulfill. But I'm gonna get John 13:17. This is John 13:17, and it says God, yeah. So this is the example where Yahweh Shai washed the apostles' feet. So I'll start at verse 12. So after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments, he was sat down again. He said to them, Know ye what I have done to you? So he was physically demonstrating the lesson. It says, Ye call me Master and Lord, and ye say, Well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, ye ought to wash on one another's feet. For I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. Verily I say unto you, the servant not greater than the Lord, neither he that sent him greater than he that sent him. So the point of it is verse 15, that example of humility. It says, For I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. And that was to serve. So verily I say unto you, the servant not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. And that's what the whole point of it is. He gave an example of humility, of humbleness and service, man. And that's even demonstrated further in, I think it's Philippians 2:8. We'll see what that is. Philippians 2:8. And it says, I'll start at verse 3. Philippians 2:3 said, Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. So once again, we don't seek no type of status or fame, in this world. But in the lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which is also Meshach Yahushai, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of man. So he took upon him the form of a servant, man. And being found in fashion as a man, because he was born through sex, just like any other regular man. He wasn't the conceived by the immaculate conception, like they say. And being found in the fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. He humbled himself, man. He humbled himself, and that's what it is. That's the point. Paul humbled himself. Yahweh Shai humbled himself. So we are to humble ourselves, man. With that being said, it's a real quick lesson. Most I wouldn't hope was edifying. So I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Let's keep on pushing. Shalom.